It's Jennifer Roberts here, and I am the Pod Queen. So, I have had some fun moments recently. I went to a women's conference last weekend, and I tried to tell them I was off leche condensado. They didn't listen. They kept feeding it to me. And guess what? I ate it and I loved it. There was a new dessert. I don't know what it's called, so Brazilian people, tell me what this dessert is. It was like a vanilla pound cake and then a custard and then whipped cream and strawberries all over the top of that. It was unbelievable. And so I had one piece and then I didn't want to be rude. They offered me another one. I ate it, like I ate it and I loved it. So if you have that cake in your house, send it to me. I really want that cake. Anyway, okay, so I'm getting better about my leche condensado consumption, I promise. But I was supposed to eat this, I know it. I think it was the Lord's will. Loved it so much. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. It was like a confessional, really. I just video these to confess my sin before you all that I love Brazilian food. Sorry about that. So there. Okay, well, today I've been thinking a lot about when the Lord looks at us, what does he see? And how can he see things in me that I don't even see? Because Romans 4:17 says he calls those things that are not as though they are. He sees things in us that are so little to me, or they're microscopic. Let's be honest. Sometimes I feel like the things the Lord sees inside of me, you need a microscope to see. I can't see it. It's not, the naked eye doesn't see it. You need the eyes of God to see it. Now he sees all things, even the movements of your heart. And so when he says he calls those things out in us that are not as though they are, that's amazing. It gives me hope. It causes me to take a deep breath and go, really? There's something good to see inside of me? And so I love Song of Solomon and I love to study it. And there's a section in Song of Solomon, it's Song of Solomon 4:1-8, and it talks about the virtues or the budding virtues that the Lord sees in the bride. And the bride is us. And so at one point he says, you have dove's eyes. Ooh, creepy. Like there's nothing about a bird's eyes that makes me feel like, yes, please call me that. If Dwayne walked in the house right now and he goes, hey baby, you got eyes like a bird, I'd kick him. There's nothing pretty about that. When I look at a bird or a pigeon or, you're out somewhere, I don't want to make eye contact with the bird. I feel like they're going, they're going to get me. I don't want that. And so what's the Lord saying? Because somehow that was beautiful back then. And I'm like, whatever, don't say I have dove's eyes. So here's what's interesting. He says that about her because a dove is loyal. It has like a little dove husband or a dove wife. And if that dove husband or wife dies, the bird doesn't choose someone else. That's it. It's not like that's bad. Like if my husband died and I remarried afterwards, till death do us part. I don't want him to die, by the way. So no one, hire a hitman to take out my husband. I want him alive. But it's not like that's the ultimate statement of loyalty is to remain single after your husband or wife dies. But in this case, it's interesting that this bird stays faithful even if their spouse dies. And so why is that significant to us? And why did the Lord say it in that story? So here's what's interesting. In the storyline on the Song of Solomon, he came to her at one point and said, come with me, my love. Let's go take mountains and hills and conquer the nations. She's terrified of this new aspect of him, sends him away, okay? So that's part of the story. This is after she sends him away. He looks at her and he says, you have dove's eyes. You're loyal. I'm thinking, no, she's not. She sent you away, Jesus. Talk to me. I'll tell you the truth. But he saw the movement of her heart. He saw that she was going to fully obey. So when he looks at you and says, I see things in you that you don't see, believe him. He has a better vantage point than you. He knew how to motivate the bride in the Song of Solomon. He knew how to produce loyalty in her by being kind to her, by calling things out of her that she couldn't even see. He sees microscopic things in you, and he says they're there. And he's not a man that he should lie. He doesn't speak and not act. He doesn't make a promise and not fulfill it. If God says something good is in you, it's there. Mainly, it's his righteousness that he gives you. We have something inside of us, the righteousness of God, given to us as a gift. It makes us beautiful to the Lord, and he sees good things in us. And so as believers today, hold your heads up. Look up to heaven. Don't hide in shame. Don't think, oh, there's nothing good in me. There is amazing things in you. It's been given to you. That's what the Pod Queen thinks. Don't be insecure. Look up. Jesus loves you.